All right, heading into Sunday's baseball games, we have a Major League Baseball player who is hitting over 400. His name is Luis Arráez of the Miami Marlins, and quietly, he's having a season for the ages. But let's not be quiet about it anymore. Let's talk about it. And we're going to do that with a columnist, an anchor, an associate producer for CBS Sports Radio. That would be Jack Stern, who joins me now. Jack, good to see you back here to talk some baseball. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dexter. We were just talking about this before we came on the air. I have a weird little thing for guys that can hit for high batting averages, so I could not be more excited to come on today for the specific purpose of discussing Luis Arráez.
Well, look, man, I like good hitters as well, too. I share that same love and passion for you, and I feel like Luis Arráez should be getting more love, which brings me to the first question, Jack, because you just wrote an article, for CBS Sports Radio and CBSSports.com about what Arráez is doing this season. And the question for me here is simple. Is the Marlins infielder not getting enough attention or respect for flirting with a 400 batting average?
Well, not only is he not getting the respect that he deserves, but he's not getting spoken about at all. And the main reason that that's taken place is because the metric for success all across Major League Baseball has completely changed. We're in an era where teams and the league as a whole is really obsessed with the home run ball, guys that can hit for power. And when you look around his division in the National League East and you see guys like Ozzie Albies and Austin Riley playing for the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber's obviously gone deep 20 times for the Phils, and then Pete Alonso's obviously had a big season as well for the Mets. So there's a lot of power hitters in that division, which has kind of created a situation where Arráez has gotten lost a little bit, even though the Marlins are having a really good season. They're only 4 games back in the NL East, and they're currently holding on to the first wild card spot as well. And then also, I don't think it helps that a superstar phenom like Elly De La Cruz has burst onto the scene with such explosiveness. Obviously hit for that cycle on Friday. The Reds went on a 12-game winning streak, which was snapped last night. So because of the weird set of conditions and circumstances that have surrounded Arráez's outbreak this season, I just think we're not even talking about him at all. And it's been just the unfortunate series of events that's created a very sad situation.
It's a sad situation. I agree with that, because to me, it's still crazy. He's hitting 400, over 400 right now at the time that we're recording this. And I feel like we should be talking more about it, because that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. And so that brings me to my next question here, Jack, right? In your eyes, what makes Arráez such a good hitter, and why do you think he's had a breakout season in 2023? Because we know he's been a pretty good hitter before, but this is obviously a jump in the level of hitting that we're seeing from him. So what makes him such a good hitter, and why is he breaking out this season?
Well, I think it's the combination of two things. One is he's kind of become the centerpiece of the Marlins lineup this season. That was never really the case throughout his career when he played with the Minnesota Twins, right? He was always that guy who got consistent playing time, but was never really consistently at the top of the order that in the way that he is right now. And then the other thing that I think that's allowed him to break out is his ability to use all fields. He doesn't come up trying to hit the ball 500 feet to the pole side like a lot of those guys that I just mentioned. Instead, he's really good at guessing where the pitcher is going to throw the ball and then deciding how he's going to aim it. You know, it's odd when you watch a lot of these baseball players. It's kind of analogous to being a golfer, right? You don't just have one swing where you try and hit a home run or to the opposite field. You know, you have a lot of different swings in your arsenal. I think that's been what's allowed Arráez to really break out this year. He is able to utilize those swings in a manner that's very unique in today's day and age. And we don't really see a lot of other guys who can do that. And then obviously his pitch recognition has gone to the next level. He's been a little bit of a late bloomer in that regard as well. It's very rare to see someone hit 400 in their 5th season in the league. Usually we know what these guys are going to be about by year 2, 3, maybe 4 at the latest. So it's nice to see him doing this at 26 years old, too.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. And like you said, I love seeing a hitter that can use all parts of the field and clearly has that approach when they are going to the plate. And a little bit of history here, right? Because the last time a baseball player hit 400. It was 1948 when Negro Leagues players Artie Wilson, Willard Brown each accomplished a feat. And the last American or National League player to do it obviously was Ted Williams when he hit 406 for the Red Sox back in 1941. Here's the question, Jack. This is the money question right here. Do you think Arraez has a realistic shot to actually hit 400 or above this season?
I feel like I just got asked a Jeopardy question for 500 points. All right, at least you can admit that's what happened. You threw me the curveball there. That's okay, but I'm going to try and hit it anyway. Unfortunately, this is a situation where the rubber kind of hits the road. It's nice that he's hitting 400 right now, but it's really hard to believe that he can consistently have this type of success. Now, at the end of the season, if we're in a scenario where he hits 380, 390, even 375, I think everyone still looks at it and says that was an incredible year, one of the best offensive seasons we've seen recently. But at the same time, if you're hitting 400, when you think about it logistically, that means that you're getting a hit almost every other at bat. And that's really, really, really hard to do, especially when you consider that a lot of these guys go through rough patches in the season, go through slumps when they have trouble not just hitting the ball, but difficulty seeing it as well. Arraez is definitely destined for one of those stretches, but then again, he's defied logic to the point that he's capable of superhuman things this year, so maybe that's a possibility. If you were going to ask me the yes or no question, if this was a multiple choice test, Dexter, I would say the answer is no, but I think that he has a very good chance of coming very close.
Okay, no, but a good chance of coming very close. Now, we both love to see hitters do well. I know you would like to see it. I would like to see it happen, but I do think you make some fair points about we see hitters go through rough stretches through the season. But hey, you also mentioned it there too, Jack. Arraez has defied a lot of the logic or a lot of trends that we've seen, so maybe he's able to get it done. Everybody, go check out Jack Stern's piece on Luis Arraez and why it's been quietly talked about him hitting over 400 this season. You need more discussion. And hey, if he hits over 400, Jack, you got to come back on and talk to me about that. We have to do this. We have to talk about it if he hits over 400, or maybe in September when he's close. We'll do it again. I appreciate talking to you about this.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope to come back on because the Marlins are kind of this year's Moneyball team with all of the young guys, the veterans that they've kind of unearthed from the middle of nowhere. So I hope to get back on to talk about both them and Arraez.
Yeah, I hope we do. Always good talking to you, Jack. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dexter.